Hello guys, welcome back again to my channel. It's your girl Juni. If you're just stopping by for the first time, you're highly welcome. My returning subscribers, I really appreciate. So today I'll be showing you how I achieved this 6 pieces blouse. Stay tuned. So these are the materials I'll be using: velvet for the center front and the ankara for the other sides. So the first thing I'm going to mark is the shoulder to nipple, shoulder to under bust, shoulder to waistline, and shoulder to the full length of the top. I'll repeat the same thing on this side so that it will enable me to have a straight line while ruling. So I'm going to rule them out. This is nipple point, this is under bust, this is waistline, and this is the full length of the top. So after which I will come up from the nipple point. I will come up by 2 inches. This is the chest line. You can call it armhole line also. So the next thing is to measure and insert the shoulder measurement, divide by 2. Insert the same measurement on the chest line, then rule it. After which on the armhole line I will come down by 1 inch. This is shoulder slope. The next thing is to mark the neck width and neck depth. I'm marking 3 by 3 inches. Neck width 3 inches, neck depth 3 inches. So I will be connecting that 1 inch to the neck width. So the next thing I'm going to mark is the bust measurement, divide by 4. I'll be inserting it on the chest line. Then the remaining armhole line, I will divide it into 2. In the middle, I will come in by half of an inch. It will enable me to have a nice armhole curve. This is how to get your armhole curve. So let me go ahead and label the line so that we will not get confused. This is chest line. This is bust point, under bust, half length, and which is also the waistline, then the full length. Then the next I'm inserting on the bust point, I'm inserting nipple to nipple, that is the bust distance. I'm inserting it here, nipple to nipple measurement. The nipple to nipple measurement I'm working with is 8.2 inches. So divide by 2, sorry, 8.4 inches divided by 2 is 4.2 inches. So the next thing is to rule the dots. So after which I'll be taking half of an inch on the center part, 1.5 inch on the outer part. Center part half of an inch. This is outer part 1.5, center part half of an inch. So this side that I minus half inch, I will connect them together. Then this side is 1.5 inch. The bust I'm working with is a average bust. So if you're working with a smaller bust, you can make use of half of an inch and 1 inch, or you can still maintain the half of an inch and 1.5 inches. So the next thing is to connect the lines into the bust points. You can achieve this by coming down by 1 inch from the bust point, or you can make use of your curve ruler, whichever way. So for the princess dart line, I'm going to measure the remaining armhole curve. Hope you can see how I measured it. I will get the midpoint, then on that midpoint I'll connect it to the nipple point with the help of ruler. Meanwhile, if you're working with a larger bust, you can come up by 1 inch from the bust point. You go up, but here the person is not kinda large and a small. I came up with half of an inch. If you're working with a bust 45, you can come up by 1 inch. Then you connect it to the points. So the next thing I'm going to mark now is to take the bust dart. The bust that I'm working with is 1.5 inches. So the 1.5 inches, I divided it and put one at the up and one at the down. You can make use of 1 inch up, 1 inch here down. 1.5 inches divided by 2 is 0.7. So you connect the dot to the previous center princess dart line. I came up by 0.7 and I came down by 0.7. If you're working with 2 inches, you go up by 1 inch up and 1 inch down. I'm talking about the armhole dart. So at the center part, I'm done with the center part. So for the side part, whatever you minus as your dart intake, you go out for the side part on. Follow the line. The line is coming this way, not the other way. So I came out by 1.5 inches. So with this 1.5 inches, I'm going to remark the armhole curve on the side part. So the next thing I'm going to do is to insert the body measurements plus the inches I'll be using to join. If you have any intake here, at this point you add your intake. So for the under bust, meanwhile, let me go ahead and curve the new armhole curve. Yes, this is the new armhole curve. So for the under bust, I'll be inserting the under bust divided by 4 plus the dart intake and plus seam allowance. Waist divided by 4 plus dart intake plus seam allowance. On the full length, I'll be inserting the hip measurements divided by 4 plus that intake, then plus seam allowance. So I will go ahead and connect these dots. So after connecting the dots, you blend out the sharp edges and we are done. If you are making just princess dots, but this one I'm making, we have zip at the front part, so I'll be using this as the seam allowance for the zip. The top I'm making, there is zip at the front, not the back, so I'm adding 2 inches for the zip allowance. If your zip is at the back, you don't have to add this that I'm adding now. You add it at the back. So I'm trying to put everything in place, after which I will go ahead and cut it out. Remember, at the armhole part, this is the new armhole part is the one we are working with. So this is it. The next thing is to make it a 6 pieces. I'm making it a 6 pieces by joining a piece of paper that we will use to cut the flare part. So the difference from the initial pattern and the 6 pieces own is I will be coming out by 3 inches. You can make use of 2 inches, 4 inches, depending on how flowing or how full you want it. But I'm coming out by 3 inches on the full length of the top. Then that 3 inches, I will connect it to the half length, which is the waist of the top. I'll connect it this way. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. We are done for the center piece. So this is it for the center piece. So the next thing we are going to work is on the side center, the side, the front part, the side. I'll go ahead and add extra paper also that I will be using to cut out the flare part. I will do the same thing on the full length by coming out by 3 inches. Then connect it to the waistline. Everything is starting from the waistline. Then for the side front, we'll be having 2 flares, one at the side and one on the side front and one at the seam allowance part. So this is how it's looking like. So for the side of the front part, I'll go ahead and insert this side now. It's already having that flare curve already, so I'll be minusing 1 inch from the other side. I'm adding 3 inches on the other flare. Here I'm going to add 2 inches because this side it's having that curve already. So I'm going to connect it to the waistline also, after which I will come up by 1 inch. This one is optional. You can choose to leave yours like this, you can choose to come up by 1 inch. The reason I'm coming up by 1 inch is to have that side curve, nothing else. So I'm done with the front part. This is it. The next thing we are going to cut is the side part. I've gone ahead to add the 1 inch for neck depth and 3 inches for neck width, then shoulder, armhole curve. So the next thing I'm going to insert is the nipple to nipple measurement. I'll be inserting it starting from the bust point down to the full length, nipple to nipple measurement. After which I will go ahead and connect the dots. This is chest, bust point, under bust, waist, and the full length. So on the bust point, that is where the dart will end. Then from the full length, I will come up by 1 inch. That is where the dart will start. Then on the waistline, I will be coming in and out by half of an inch on the both side. So I will go ahead and connect it this way, then trace it out to the place it will start. I'll go ahead and insert the dart. So this is it if you are cutting normal blouse, but here we are making use of 6 pieces. So it's not that you use recess dart or you use shoulder dart, but here I'll be making use of shoulder dart. So the remaining of the shoulder, I'm going to divide it into two, then the midpoint I'll connect it to the bust point like this. So be like this. So the next thing I'm going to do is to insert the bust measurement, divide by 4 plus seam allowance. Then at the under bust, I'll be inserting the under bust measurement plus that intake and the seam allowance. At the waist part, I'll be inserting the waist measurement, divide by 4 plus that intake plus seam allowance. On the full length, I'll be inserting the hip measurement plus allowance. So I'll go ahead and connect the dots. So the next thing we are going to do is to cut the pieces. So I'm done cutting out the rough parts. So the next thing I'm going to insert is 1 inch for back joining. You know, this particular top will not be having a zip at the back. This is just joining. This is 1 inch for joining. You can add half of an inch depending on how you want to how many inches you want to join yours. Then after that, I'll be putting a rough paper to do exactly what I did at the front. Go out by 3 inches on the full length part, then connect it to half length. This is for the back, center back. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. So I'm done with the center back. So the side back, I'll be coming out from the two sides. One is this that is joining with the center back. I'll come out by 3 inches and join it to the half length. I'll go ahead and cut out the excess. Then for the side, remember what we did at the front. We'll be only adding 2 inches instead of 3 inches. So we'll go ahead and add 2 inches. Then connect it to the waist, which is the half length. Then I'll be coming up by 1 inch. If you came up by 1 inch at the front, you will definitely come out up by 1 inch for the back. But if you didn't, no, you will not be coming by 1 inch for the back. So that is it for the 6 pieces blouse cutting. So this video will be having another part because this is very long already. So this is the cutting part. So the next thing I'm going to do is to cut out the pieces of papers, unfold. Then I will go ahead and add the allowances where it's needed.